Overton is a place of strange, unexplained paranormal phenomena.
People's dogs, when they've walked across the bridge, have jumped to their deaths.
It's as if they are in a trance, as if their minds are somewhere else.
It does feel a little bit like something strange is going on.
No! No, don't do it!
Wow!
In the village of Milton in West Dunbartonshire, Scotland, there's a century-old bridge that has caused 600 dogs to attempt to commit unalive since its creation in 1895. But what is causing these suicide attempts? Is it ghosts? I don't know. Something that's explainable by science? I don't know. So today we're going to be diving into the mystery and debunking whether it really is a haunted shithole or just some regular-ass bridge in Scotland. In the year 2014, a woman named Alice Trevorrow and her son Thomas were planning on walking their Springer Spaniel, a dog named Cassie, around Dumbarton, Scotland. And Cassie was such a good girl that, Alice didn't really feel the need to use a leash on the dog. It may have been a mistake. As they reached the bridge, Alice and her son got out of their vehicle. It was a pretty old bridge, constructed using rough-faced ashlar stone and comprising of 3 arches. A large central arch spanning a deep valley at the bottom, and on each side of the large arch, lower, smaller pedestrian arches. Now, as soon as Alice and her son opened the door to the car, Cassie ran out, like full speed. And that was uncommon because, like I said earlier, she's a well-mannered dog. And so, when she got to the bridge, she stopped, as if there was something there in her way that she saw. And so she stopped and was staring at this thing, but Alice and her son could not see what it was. It was almost as though she was looking at a ghost. Whatever Cassie saw caused her to change from her usually well-mannered self and run to the edge of the bridge and proceed to jump off. And she plummeted 50 feet before hitting the bottom of the river. Thomas raced over to the edge of the bridge where Cassie jumped off and looked down. And when he looked down, he saw a sort of speck, like a dot. And he realized it was Cassie, and miraculously, Cassie survived with no broken bones at all and just a pulled muscle. And yet, that wasn't the only time something like this happened on the bridge. The bridge has a long history of events such as this one. And for the most part, they're inexplicable. The bridge in question is known as the Overton Bridge, and it leads to the Overton Estate, which is a building that's much older than the bridge itself. Bob and Melissa Hill, the current owners of the bridge, state that the land that the bridge is, on is haunted. But by what exactly? Theory time. The bridge itself was built by an industrialist named James White, and the estate that it led to was inhabited by his son, John, and John's wife, Grace. From what I could find, John and Grace had a pretty healthy marriage, and yet they had no children. And after John died in the year 1908, the estate was left to Grace since they had no heirs. Grace, living alone in such a big home, was filled with grief and said that she used to wander around the Overton Bridge with her dog. She wandered the bridge frequently for the next 30 years, and fast forward to today, locals claim that her spirit still wanders on the bridge. And so could that be what causes these dogs to stop and look at something? Could it be the spirit of the White Lady of Overton, as she's called? I don't really know, but I don't think that's it. All of the dogs, which, fun fact, were all long-nosed breeds, jumped from the same spot. The spot where the dogs jumped off is also a spot where an atrocious act was committed. In 1994, a 32-year-old man took his own son and threw him off the last 2 parapets of the bridge, which is the same spot the dogs jumped off. He did this thinking that his son was the Antichrist. And right after he threw his son to his death, he attempted to commit suicide on the bridge as well, but was stopped by his wife. The man was not even charged with murder, because he was thought to be insane. And so that's where the theory comes that, the fact that the dogs jumped off from that same spot, supposedly, means that the child's ghost is what's causing it to happen, since, he didn't actually get justice. and the spirit isn't at peace. Again, ghost. I believe in ghosts, don't get me wrong, but ghosts killing dogs, I don't know. Maybe? Honestly, ghosts must be very bored. And as always, much to my discontent, there is a logical explanation. This logical explanation comes from Bob Hill, which is one of the owners of the Overton estate. And he says that since the dogs and their long noses have, strong senses of smell, they're able to smell the small game and minks that pass under the bridge. And so when they smell that, it draws them towards the bridge, and not knowing that they have like a 50-feet drop, they jump off hoping to catch some minks or some shit. But that doesn't really explain how the dogs fell from the same spot. So in my head, it has to be the boogeyman or something supernatural like that. But I guess we'll never know. Well, whatever is causing it, I think it's safe to say that you should keep your dog far away from this bridge. Like far, far away. Peace.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.